Hey guys, I'm at Downing Street and all the noise you can hear behind me is from the protesters here on the first day of the ULEZ expansion protesting outside Downing Street. This is what's going on. Come check this out. And the other thing has got to be said, have you noticed how many cameras there are, how much media there is? At last, a bit late, let's be honest, possibly too little too late, but
Hello mate. Hi, how you doing?
so first day of ULEZ, it's actually happened.
Yes, the first day is very annoying, it's very upsetting, but this is not the end. This is like the beginning, I think, of even more challenges. It's linked as well to other things like active travel, the low traffic neighbourhoods, congestion charges. We've seen people challenge these things in Cambridge, in Warrington, in Southwark, in Ealing, up and down the country, in the Midlands with the clean air zones, tens of thousands of people not paying. So people are going to be challenging this, they're going to continue to fight it. I think this is creating the new demarcation lines between those that think there should be an attack and a war on ordinary people whilst they fly around in nice jets and air-conditioned cars and tell us that we shouldn't be doing these things. So it is gone through, but we're going to see many more challenges.
It's not over yet.
It's not over. I'd encourage everyone to make sure they let everyone know, their MPs, their councillors. It's an election year. They're feeling very sensitive. We've already seen the Shadow Cabinet Labour Minister come out today. We've seen Keir Starmer say about it. They know they're sensitive to this. It's going to have a big impact.
Thanks very much, Alan.
Thank you. See you soon.
How you doing?
Hey Simon, how you doing? You alright?
I'm all right. You know I'm here. Even though it's come in, we don't stop fighting. The fight goes on.
Well, it's happened now.
It has, but it's going to be reversed. Susan Hall has promised to scrap it on day one. We've got to fight for that now and keep the fight going on. And they think that because it's in, it's all over and done with. It isn't. The battle goes on and we continue to fight it day after day. And if they think it's good, if Mr. Khan thinks, oh, that's it, I've done it now, it's all over and done with, it isn't. They thought the same, if you remember, when the poll tax came in. They thought, oh, that's it, it's over and done with, it'll be sorted, it'll go away. No way. This is going on and on and on.
So as a councillor, what would you say to people watching now who are thinking they're feeling a bit despondent about the whole thing?
Well, I can understand people feeling despondent. Let's face it, you know, there was a consultation, they were ignored. They tried the judicial review, that was ignored. Every time they tried to do something, there's opinion polls that showing outer London is not wanted, time after time. So understandably people feel disgruntled. They feel the political process is not working for them. So quite rightly they're here and they'll continue to be here.
What should they do? What should they do now? What can they do now?
They should continue to protest as lawfully and legally as they can, because that's really, really important. Things like this, these voices will be heard eventually. It may not be today, it may come in May next year, but their voices will be heard.
Thanks very much, Simon.
That's a pleasure, and keep up the good work. I saw your great stuff at the car show as well. Brilliant stuff. Well done.
How are you doing?
Very saddened. People felt angry, but I was sad last night, and this morning I sort of got in black because I see this as terrible. Not something. I'm not even angry. I'm gone beyond that this has happened. I kept on hoping with various things that we've tried. But it's here, but I'm absolutely convinced we don't give up, you know, because the stories are now, the tide is turning in the press. It took them so long to wake up, but it is changing now. And I think we actually, it will be so unpopular. I cannot believe the number of elderly people who I think will get a letter. And one thing I found is, of course, these people don't have mobile phones. They don't have computers. They don't have electronic banking. Even if they want to pay, how are they going to pay? And I think we're going to see far more stories now coming out. And there was also
and this is across parties. This affects everybody.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're a Labour Party member.
Yes.
I mean, this everybody needs to come together right now.
Absolutely. But it's very, very sad that it's come to this. And two things have come out this week. One is about the GLA members trying to persuade the University of London to actually, could you tweak the stats? Could you tell us that there is no? They said, honest, we can't. So they're trying to manipulate those. And secondly, there was this case of, I don't know if it's true, this guy who managed to get rid of all his fines because he claimed that various things.
Yeah.
So I think
But tell me this, as a Labour Party supporter, and the fact that you've now seen that they did try to manipulate the results, or they tried to cajole, rather, the guy from Imperial College to say something that he didn't necessarily want to say. They've also, funded Imperial College to the tune of nearly £1 million.
Yes.
Does that make you a little bit disillusioned about the inner workings of how these things are done?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm quite realistic. I know how politics works, and I know there's a lot of... But no, and I think the major Labour Party are completely spineless. They knew that this was in the offing. They knew that because of so many people in the Labour Party are what I call the privileged elite, and they can put their car, which is probably an electric car, at home and go out into the country with it, and the rest of the time they get cabs. The problem with London is politics is still very centralised about central London. No mayor has ever really understood outer London. You've got to go to places like the outskirts of Orpington, or I'm a bit further in myself, but on the edges, these are, there's green fields and everything, and the transport is very poor. And the inner London workings of all political parties, actually, most activists do not understand what we're talking about. And they all should, but Labour should in particular. And I do think that Keir Starmer should have stepped in much earlier and said, this won't be a popular view, okay? But if it was £3 a day, it might be, something, but to put it so high, to make all the claiming electronic, to not listen to local parties, because local parties started saying things quite early on. Look, this is going to affect our core voters, and I've had people come to me in tears, people have been saying, because, do you understand? But they didn't ever understand. They don't understand what it's like living on a paycheck that is not coming in, or losing a job or something like that. And so I still blame, I think the leadership of the Labour Party. I'm going to make it plain, I would never vote for Tories in a national election because I believe the basic principles of the Labour Party are the right ones. But I don't believe they're following their basic principles with this. We should be looking after the poor, those less able, those more handicapped, those who've got diseases, and when they wouldn't give permission for patients who are going for chemo to the Marsden to having abstentions with people who bring them. Now that's just horrific, absolutely horrific.
So how is it's actually happened today? So it started, so we're now into it. Yes. What do we do now?
Well, we're into decimation time. People's lives, people's incomes, people's jobs is being wrecked by an absolutely dishonest mayor. And we can stop it, we just keep trying. And this back here, this guy, Rishi Sunak, and I met with Mark Harbour this morning as well. I bumped into him, and he was very, very supportive of me. And I said, why are you not doing anything about this? He said, I can't. I said, yes, you can. He absolutely can.
I mean, what justification does he have for saying that he cannot intervene in this?
Well, what's happened is lawyers, as usual, lawyers are saying it won't work, it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost your voters a lot of money. So get out there and do something about it. Have some cojones and do something about it, Mr. Harper. I've been talking about this in campaign this now for a long, long time, and you can see these people here, these are real people who care about their cars, care about their livelihoods. You need to look after them.
You know, I've seen a lot of depression. Somebody said to me today that somebody was thinking about setting themselves on fire, which is a horrible thought. But what are people to do in this time when a lot of people are feeling very down right now?
Absolutely right, and I get my inbox is absolutely overflowing with people. What car do I get? What I want to keep my car. There's nothing wrong with my car. It's been MOT'd. It's passed the emissions test. All of these sorts of things. Good cars that are worth probably £8,000 or £9,000. They got to dump that and get £2,000 to buy something else. It's not going to happen. And this is the irony of it. Most of those cars that are non-compliant are going outside of London now. So we can pollute outside of London. That's
We're just moving the problem. We're just moving the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. So final question, should I sell my car?
No.
You've seen my car, haven't
I
you?
love your car. I followed your car. It's a brilliant car. I love it. No, don't you dare.
Thanks a lot, Howard.
Cheers. See you soon.
Hey, dude.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Very well, very well.
First of all, tell me, what have you been eating?
I've been eating very heavily now. I'm trying to prepare myself for the next mass hunger strike and maybe coming down here in front of the 10 Downing Street.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're gonna do another
Yes,
one?
we have to carry on the fight.
Right.
We can't give up if the 29 today and they have put the scheme on.
Yeah.
We'll keep fighting. Fight till the end. We won't accept it and we don't want it.
Tell me this, what is the reception you received today here?
Sorry?
What is the reception that you received here today?
Well, I can't explain. It's inexplicable for me. The respect I got from the people got together here. And it is not a respect to me as an individual. It is the respect to the cause I have fought against. So let's fight against the cause. The respect will follow you. You don't have to run after the respect or the popularity. All you need to think to fight for the right cause, and everything will follow you.
Awesome. And you're looking smart today, I gotta say, man.
Yeah, I have to be smart now. Have to be smart now because I'm here to attend the procession, the death of the democracy.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I'm in a black.
Right.
And the responsible for the death of the democracy is Labour and the Conservative. They are both parties.
Yeah.
So they are the responsible for the death of the democracy. So they could have saved it. The Conservative could have saved it. They did not intervene. Labour Party leader Starmer is simply urging to Mr. Khan to reflect his scheme. So I fail to understand why he need to urge him. He can pass the instructions to him that we do not want it. Stop it. So he is just washing his hands off, showing the people that he is doing something. In real sense, they are doing nothing, and the democracy has died today as Kingsley Hamilton came with the taboo.
Yeah.
So it is the death of the democracy.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I'm in a black.
Yeah.
So
very smart too. And Kingsley, let's turn this around the other way. Kingsley, the coffin is here. The coffin is here. The death of democracy. Oh my goodness. What say you, man? I tell you what, I gotta ask you this question first of all. I've had a lot of people being very despondent today and being very depressed about this.
Very much so, yeah, myself included. I've got a non-compliant Ford Transit. I can't afford to replace it. I'm not going to replace it, and I am very lucky because my area, all the cameras have been taken down, which is obviously nothing to do with me.
No, nothing to do with Kingsley.
Nothing to do with me. I try not to smile. But the van is a Mark 7 Transit, and the NOx levels are almost identical to the Mark 8 Transit, which is compliant.
Yeah.
But of course, the Mark 8 Transit is like 10 grand more than the value of my van, and it's just impossible to replace. And it's pointless in replacing. It's got loads of life left.
I think that one thing that we haven't probably said enough is that to do this right now, when people have no money, we have a cost of living crisis, car values are all over the place, and the difference between ULEZ and non-ULEZ compliant cars is ridiculous right now. It's just not fair.
It is, and it's supply and demand. Everybody wants the non-compliant ones, nobody wants the non-compliant ones. So the price difference is immense. And the problem with that is that it means it's impossible for people who are going to end up having to pay the charge to not pay the charge. And the people who can least afford it, the middle class or rich people who can afford brand new cars every 3 years, they don't care. They don't, oh well, or a lot of them don't care. Some of the decent ones who've got a heart do care, but it's certainly makes people realise that the Labour Party is definitely not the party for the people anymore. They're self-serving, multi-millionaire, multiple landlord people who don't care about us. You know, we thought they were going to nationalise our infrastructure when they got in after Maggie Thatcher and John Major's fiasco. Didn't happen, and here we are. Sir Keir Starmer, just remind you that he's a sir, multi-millionaire sir, is not going to nationalise them either. So we know that we're being forced to have, we're going to be forced to get rid of our boilers soon. You know, we've been told that NOx is 50% of it comes from gas boilers. So these air source heat pumps are going to be the next thing that's rammed down our throats. And of course, you know, people who are Ecotricity. There's the guy who runs Ecotricity is the guy who's bankrolling Just Stop Oil. You know, it smacks of corruption, and the Labour Party are just lapping it up. They're not the party for the people anymore. I'm very sorry to say that.
Do you think Rishi is listening? We're outside his house.
I think Rishi is secretly hoping that because of these ULEZ, Susan Hall can just walk into Downing Street. And I think that's very unfair. But the thing is, when it comes to May, we're not going to forget that Rishi did nothing to stop ULEZ.
You know, for a lot of people, the damage has been done. A lot of people have sold their cars or lost their businesses or lost their jobs already because of this.
I think the damage will have been done when all the cameras have been damaged and there aren't any cameras. That's when the damage will have been done, because it's still happening right now. It happened last night. Hundreds of attacks were done last night, allegedly. So I heard on the mysterious grapevine. Nothing to do with me, obviously. But yeah, I've seen the evidence all over Facebook, so it's definitely happening. But yeah, you're right. People have given up very good cars and sold them for bugger all, put themselves into sky-high debt. So the saying that people are compliant isn't okay, because just because they're compliant doesn't mean they're not now paying a massive bank loan off that they can't afford at a time where they desperately don't need it. So it's a shame.
Everybody start singing happy birthday to Kingsley! Happy birthday to you!
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you!
Hooray!
Thank you! Make a wish! Make a wish! Make a wish! Come on!
I think we might know what he's going to wish for.
I don't know if it'll come true. It might do. It depends if the bad boys get ahead. So it is my birthday today. I'm 45 years old, and I want to be just getting on with my life. I don't want to be doing this nonsense, this having to constantly protest all the time to make politicians listen to us. This is not about clean air. It's not even going to give us clean air. If you take a city car from the city and move it to the countryside, it's going to do more mileage. If it does more mileage, it's going to pollute more. If it pollutes more, it's going to cause more climate change problems, more pollution, more toxic air. We can't keep Sahara Desert dirt out of London. How the hell are we going to keep the extra pollution that's moved to the countryside out of London? It's bonkers, but none of the media are picking up on this. It's such a simple, basic fact. I want politicians to listen to us. I want them to listen to us and put their things in their manifesto. If Sadiq Khan said he was going to expand ULEZ in his manifesto and he got voted in, that would be democracy. But that's not what's happened. We've been ignored. It's time for Sadiq Khan to go. We're going to cut my cake. Thank you very much.
Birthday wish in history.
It's not quite a Union Jack, but it'll have to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
the poor. Tax on the poor. That's all ULEZ is. Break ULEZ. Smash ULEZ. Smash ULEZ.
I said, make sure you get. I said, make sure you.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Who's the brown car guy here? Who is the brown car? Who's the real brown car guy?
Me, not him.
Will the real brown car guy make himself?
Me, not him. Me. He's a replica.
Well, it's like Slim Shady all over again. Will the brown
come back?
Oh man, where's your cab? Where's the pink cab?
Down the other end.
Oh, pink cab is everywhere.
Out of the way.
Watch out for the pink cab. Make sure you find this guy. Where can everybody find you? Tell them quick.
It's none of their business.
No, come on. Where can they
Facebook
hide?
Marketplace, Pink Taxi.
Pink Taxi. Go check him out. Brown car guy. This is the one. How you doing?
I've been watching your content since the start of ULEZ.
Right.
You are like the champion of Anti-ULEZ.
Thank you very much. I don't know if I'm the champion, but I've tried to cover it.
Yeah.
Who are you covering for?
No, I'm just independent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have a channel?
Yeah, Andre Monti, the channel.
Oh, awesome. Go subscribe to him.
You inspired me to come out here.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
So, what do you think the chances are of ULEZ expansion stopping? Because
no, it's happened. It's happened now. It's happened. Yeah. The only thing that now can happen is that it could get reversed, and that depends on the mayoral election.
Yeah. Do you think Rishi Sunak will step in with a GLA Act?
No.
He won't?
No, they've already decided that they won't. Because they've had a look at it, and they've found that if they are challenged in court, they will lose that. So therefore, they've decided not to do it. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these 3 little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.